Hi guys, it's Ben from Nerf Modding for Dummies again, and today I'm going to do a spring replacement and improvement on the Elite Alpha Trooper. This is the orange variety, but it is identical to the blue variety in every way except for the colour. I'm doing the orange one because my blue one has already been upgraded, as you can hear, compared to that. So at the moment this one has your current stock 2.5 kilo spring in it, and this one has the upgraded 5 kilo spring in it. Once again, I got my springs from blastertech.com.au, and they are also available through Orange Modworks as well. And simple mods with 2 tools, 2 screwdrivers, same as what I've done with the Retaliator. Also too, thank you for all the positive feedback I got on my first video. The main thing that people wanted was better light and better orientation of my camera. So I believe that this location's got better light, and the orientation I'll fix up when I upload. At the moment I'm going to be uploading a whole bunch of videos, and then I'll probably be scaling them back down to 1 a week. Okay, the Alpha Trooper, or the Elite Alpha Trooper, is a reshell of the original Alpha Trooper, which is yellow. Not as powerful, but this, being a pump action, ready to go out the box blaster, is very popular in your HVZ and your CQB games. A lot of people prefer this. YouTubers like Drac have made it popular, and yeah, it is highly sought after, so much so that the orange one was re-released. It was re-released as orange because the blue was so popular and it went out of production. But I personally, against what a lot of people think, believe the Retaliator is a lot better. For some reason, even with the same amount of work, the Retaliator gives you a lot more output, and I find it to be more reliable, personally. But yeah, a lot of people prefer this, but it's up to each person's individual tastes. There's a lot more screws on this one, so it's going to take a bit longer to unscrew. If my voice is getting annoying, you can always just pause it, unscrew it, and scan it forward to where I've opened the shell up. I need to do some cool on hold music or something, I guess. Because this is a brand new blaster, they're always a little bit hard to get apart the first time. So let's just hope this one doesn't. I hope we can get through this with little amount of stress and problems. And again, like with the Retaliator, you have a spring-loaded receiver there, so when I go to pull the shell apart, that will jump out unless you're ready for it. And again, same as the Retaliator, screws hidden underneath the slide. See those out. Okay. Honestly, I'm not as familiar with the Alpha Trooper as I am with the Retaliator, so I'm only going to do the very basic of basics. Another 2 screws here underneath the slide, and like the design on the Retaliator, the slide actually fits into a designated piece. Right here, I'll show you a close up later, is a steel arm that it locks into, which you can see it better there without me losing all the screws. That's the arm it locks into. Again, my personal preference for these, for the format it's been used for, is a 5 kilo spring. You can take it up if you want to, but keep in mind with the priming bar, I have heard that 7 kilo will actually bend the priming bar. If you go to Blaster Parts, which is a German manufacturer of blaster parts basically, you can get an upgraded priming bar, which will help. And of course, it's got a lot more shell in it, it's got a lot more screws. Just gently lever it until it's up. There we go. Okay. And again, leaving the shell intact so all the screws are still in place. It's brand new, fresh. It's only about a month out of the box. Oh, that spring's coming out. So it's still nice and freshly lubed up. The spring's moved on me, which is just the mag release. So I'll just pop that back in. Hopefully my head wasn't just in the shot and you can still see what I'm doing. There we go. Back in place. All good. So with the last one, with a Retaliator, very more basic internals. I could fiddle around here and there, but with this, I'm just pulling the spring out and closing it back up again. Because of all, you got springs here, there, and little bits everywhere. I'd rather just get it back closed up before we do some damage. And this one here, I can actually sit it inside. Unlike the Retaliator that I left out, but this one can sit inside. Sit it back in until we hear that click. Done. And before we get problems with it wanting to shoot out everywhere, let's get it all sealed up. So use this screwdriver. This one works on Alpha Trooper. Again, just if you want to, just scan straight through until you see me pick it up. If you want to listen to my voice, or if you're quicker with a screwdriver, or you've got an impact driver, electronic. I wouldn't recommend those if you're going to do it repeatedly, because they will strip out the little plastic port that the screw goes into. The Alpha Trooper, or the Elite Alpha Trooper, or Orange Alpha Trooper, are normally abbreviated to the EAT, Elite Alpha Trooper, or Orange Alpha Trooper, the OAT. If you hear people saying EAT or OAT, you know what they're talking about. They are, like I said, pretty much the most popular Springer blaster out there at the moment. Because you pull them straight out the box, pump's already attached, and you're ready to go. Like all the other ones too, you've got your tack rail attachments here and your stock. This one's got the built-on barrel, so you can't put any of your Modulus or Retaliator attachments to it on the front. But I don't seem to get as much power out of this with the same spring as what I do out of a Retaliator or a Rampage. But that's it. Everyone to their own. They like people like this. And being a pump action rear mag feeding blaster, I can see why. It's very easy and ergonomic to use compared to the Rampage, which is side loading. And it's got the angled foregrip. So I would personally, out of the three, I would go for a pump action Retaliator, or a Rampage. This would be my third choice, but that is my personal choice. Anyway, in a HVZ or CQB game, I normally use a Demolisher. Or if I will interchange that or a Retaliator, normally if it's wet or a bit drizzly, I won't use flywheel, electronic blaster. I'll use a pump or a spring action one. So when I do that, I normally go to my Retaliator. A bit tight. Comfortable screwdrivers for if you're doing this time and time again does help. Just finding the right one. Comfortable for your hand and actually fits inside the portholes for the screws. So I could have taken it apart and showed you the internals, which was the air restrictor and everything else. But because of the amount of small parts in this, I really didn't want to risk losing any. And plus this is just your basic video. The Retaliator video gave you a bit more of that, because it is, I said, a much more simpler blaster to modify, and you can, as I showed you, you can strip it down to basically 2 moving parts, 3 if you count the trigger, and it performs really well. Okay, that's the last screw now. So that is the Alpha Trooper. Let's put some darts in it. Dart fell out. Prime it, load it, and we're away. because the air restrictor is in place, you still do the dry fire. So that's the guide for the Alpha Trooper, and like I said, there's no difference between doing it to either one of these two, except for the colour. And these will probably be a bit more easier for you to come across if you're in America. But for the rest of us outside of America, you'll have to find these blue ones secondhand. Thanks guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and keep on nerfing.